Greetings, family. This is Bomani Timber, and welcome to our Egypt April 2026 Journey of a Lifetime. And today's date is January 11th, 2026. So happy 2026, everyone, and appreciate everyone being open to this incredible experience of going to Egypt with us on the Nile Valley civilization. And historically, our journeys have been more of roots and culture in East and West Africa. And recently, we just started this to build a fresh new schedule as we just begin to add other schedules to Africa. So the first Egypt journey that we took on the Africa for Africans was November of 2024. So I'll share those highlights with you. And then this one will be the second journey. So this will be my third time in Egypt. The first time I showed up in Egypt was in April of 2004. So arguably coming up on 22 years ago. And that was my second journey to the African continent with Dr. Ranoko Rashidi, for those who know him, renowned historian. And that's one of the journeys where when we're studying about our roots and culture, Egypt is gonna pop up somewhere in the timeline. And it was a journey that scholars put together to show us Egypt in a very organized fashion along the entire Nile Valley civilization, from Cairo, Luxor to Aswan to Simbel. And that's the extension of our journey. So a lot of logistics, which I'll go through on the itinerary. My first time in Africa was in Senegal in March of 2004. So I've been traveling to the African continent for 22 straight years, and this is be the 20th year under a banner of Africa for the Africans. And this is set for our 41st tour, meaning 41 tour with group members that I've taken around different parts of the African continent, a total of about 12 countries and over 800 different people. So it's something that I've done throughout the time frame of my life, from my late 20s to now my late 40s. And it's one of the most refreshing getaway that you can experience. A lot of times we all work out there in the corporate world, and we never get a chance to really just socialize and fellowship with each other and share an experience. And those are some of the things that we have always pushed in our Pan-African movement, for those of us to support Black business, to also support, which is, while we choose so much countries like in West Africa and East Africa, but also to put together an energy to build our connection in Africa, along and around the entire continent. We only can do so many schedules because some countries, it's simpler to do. Some countries, people may be interested, may not be interested. So I've always selected the best countries to offer the best experience based on my experience of traveling to the different countries on the African continent. So what I wanted to start to just get right to the point is our Egypt details for our tour. And we are looking to this start just wrapping things up for the closeout of our tickets and everything. So I'll be reaching out to everyone to send them their flight details. And as time go along between this month of January to the beginning of February, the goal is just to get things closed out as fast as possible, do another conference call and go over as much information as possible, and just get everybody acclimated and clear on the process. And I'm looking forward to writing one of the things that we have always written, which is our tour book, which just give you an overview of the tour program in the country itself. So the main access to information is going to be on our website, and hopefully everyone can see the screen sharing, and that's africafortheafricans.org. And you'll see a multitude of different pictures. It spanned from different countries, different parts of the African continent, and they're just random pictures. And then you also see a MP3 player with some nice selected music. You can always mute it. It's currently muted for our presentation so the music don't load. And then if you, this is only on the desktop and laptop view. If you're on your mobile phone, you won't see the MP3 player and you won't see the slideshow. What you just see is the main menu and then the content in the middle of the page. The website is designed directly for you to get access to your tour schedule and your tour information. So when you're scrolling down to the main menu, it does have a list of different journeys. You just click on Egypt. It's the most recent and upcoming journey, so it's at the end, and the furthest journeys away are at the top. And I try to write schedules 1 to 2 years or closer to 2 years ahead of time. So I have schedules available and they're spread out throughout the months. The year usually the goal is usually to do 2 to 4 journeys a year and more so 2 to 3, as it's a lot of processing and organizing to get these things coordinated. And the most important thing, building a group of people say that they want to go somewhere and actually are serious about going. So so you don't have a bunch of schedules that people are not interested in, which takes a lot of time and costs a lot to just put them out and have things available. So this is our first journey that we're setting off for the year. And before I continue and click on the Egypt link, you have just a few different other options. These are the supporting details about us. If anyone just want to know about us and our start and how we got here and the background of our operation, that's on the about us and different ways to contact me via email, WhatsApp, and then this a few articles talking about repatriation and investment, and this and then a link for Marcus Garvey Vision, which is what inspired myself to connect to the African continent and inspired me to join the world of Pan-Africanism and be this practical force to just get involved in doing things that we can just build a connection from the African diaspora to the African continent and just connect us to the roots culture and just put energy into us working and doing things together as a people. And while you're scrolling down, you'll see the same links for all the schedules that we have. Some schedules Some schedules are going to say future tours as I work to just try to put up some level of information on this future schedules that individuals can let me know if they're interested and we can kind of just publish those future schedules as time go along ahead of time. And there'll be some adjustments. So still just trying to work it all out and still trying to get a feel of this who's really serious about going to Africa because over the last 6 months, I've never heard so many reasons and excuses about why people are not interested anymore. And if someone is not interested, that's absolutely fine. But to tell me that someone that represents a government in the country that they live is not going to let them back in their own country, which is the biggest excuse I've heard, is unfortunate and unbelievable. Rather for people to tell me that they rather use their investment money to do something else, versus telling me that or telling me that Africa is on fire. And I've been going to Africa for 22 years, and I would never put any of us in any situation, myself, my family, or any of us, or any of the people that we're associated with, in any dangerous country. So we follow strict protocol to make sure that we're in the safest country. But unfortunately, we're dealing with a government in the country that we live in that does not prioritize Africa. And when you look at a map of travel advisory, what you're going to see is level twos and threes of precaution of going to this country and also reconsider of going to this country. So that's one of the things that sometimes may throw people off. But the best thing to do ahead of time is to just do your research ahead of time before you make any commitments. Because once we put schedules up, unless things are literally just dangerous, which we're not going, we'll just basically reschedule. We do these trips. I've never really canceled any journeys in Africa because these things are planned out very coordinated and very organized. And we have people, individuals, friends, business partners, associate in every country that we do business in. So we just make sure that you're good in those aspects, and anyone can always just reach out to me and have a conversation about any situation, and we can always just work things out. So right now, that's our set schedule for Egypt, one of the safest countries in Africa. So what you'll see is tourism police, and you'll see a secure environment in Egypt where It's prioritized because Egypt, one thing about Egypt, I'll be honest with everyone, they don't play around with their money. Even during COVID-19, they still was trying to get people to see the pyramids, and they're still trying to work things out, even with whatever was going on, which has always been going on between Israel and Palestine, which is the closest um, the closest country to Israel and Palestine is going to be Egypt. So some people may look at that as a situation, but I always tell everyone since I've been in this business, there's always something going on. It's something that's above our pay grades and something that some of us may have an idea what's going on, some of us may not. So none of us can control those situations, but as far as Egypt, they secure their country and they make sure that you have a great time. You can enjoy the history of the country and do what you need to do on your getaway, which all of us deserve, especially from this working for the corporations in America and using our time off to just enjoy a fruitful getaway. So everything is always based on roots and culture. So as we scroll down, there's some supporting details. This is just saying our conference call is today with links. So I usually post the most updated conference call. Videos and photos, in order to see previous videos and photos, they're all on our social pages. You may see different things on all social pages. That's me basically showing the beauty, the love, the roots, culture, and just our experience on the African continent. So most of the videos, over 5,000 videos from all the countries that we've traveled to are designated on YouTube, and lots of the group photos are on Facebook. And then you have different presentations on Instagram and TikTok. And LinkedIn is just a professional background of combination of professional background and business background, just kind of mixed in, just trying to share information for those who want to have access to information and look at it. And these are our current groups that we have tours to Tanzania, South Africa, Ghana, Egypt, and Kenya. And that's me showcasing and sharing with you the best of Africa. Uh, these are the 5 countries in Africa that I've had the greatest experience and the countries that we feel excited and feel great to share with anyone that's never been to Africa or been to Africa and want to try to this experience a different country. And this also represent different regions, north, east, south, and west. And only parts of Africa where we don't have schedule is more so Central Africa. Working on a Zambia schedule, but it's probably considered more so Southern Africa, but I've never been able to really find anything in Central Africa where I feel good to go and travel. So that's one of the situations where sometimes you just have unrest and things that's uncertain in some parts, so we just avoid it to avoid just any uncertainties. So I've looked at many countries and they're just not on the list because of things going on in that specific country, and that's unfortunate. And then even in that case, that country may be okay to go to, but it's a decision that we have to make and be clear on it. So that's why there's no countries in Central Africa. And hopefully one day, I get to go to the Congo and different and 1 or 2 different countries in Central Africa. But as far as now, we don't have enough research or anything on the ground to make us feel like it's okay for us to do this or support. So that's the reason why some countries are not on there. And in our lifetime, we could only go to so many countries. So why not just enjoy the best of Africa that we have support and we have great itineraries for you to experience because we're not taking you on this a mission in Africa to where it's just a rough mission. We're taking you to where you can enjoy luxury and beauty. We want to showcase and share the beauty of Africa because too many times, when people talk about Africa and generalize it, they're talking about the roughness. And it's just like I live here in Atlanta, Georgia, or outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And when people talk about Atlanta, they're going to talk about the beauty and the incredibleness of Atlanta, Georgia, but they're not going to talk about all the homeless people under the bridge in Atlanta and all of the homeless shelters and all of the crazy people walking around downtown Atlanta. But in Africa, we get slammed with that notion instead of, so if I'm not going to be here showcasing the worst of Georgia, then I'm not going to do the same thing in Africa. And that's the issue that I have with people who go online and do that. It's like before you judge us in Africa, why don't you judge your city of your drug dealers and drug heads and parts of your city that's falling apart? Because every city in America can showcase that. And moving forward, so these are just groups anyone can just always join. These groups just represent me posting pictures and videos. That's mainly what I do on my off time is just try to I have lots of documentation, even from the countries that we've traveled last year. I'm still trying to get even. I still have more pictures and videos to share from my last four tours last year, which was South Africa, Kenya, Ghana, and Tanzania. And just as time go along, I usually just put out as much as possible until I've shared as much as I can. But even in that case, we have so much that we can just always share. So one of the things I will always be doing is just sharing documentation. So these are our 40 groups that I've taken and led to 12 different African countries. And then outside of Africa, one country is Brazil. And that's just one-time journey just to showcase a connection from Africa to the most populous countries where Africans were taken from. So that was always an interesting journey. I always wanted to do it again, but when people say they want to do certain things, you put schedule up and you don't get the commitment, you just kind of move forward. So now I'm just focused on this Africa. So once you scroll down, you'll see literally 40 group tour, and you'll see me somewhere in the left or right in the middle or just somewhere in these group photos. The last set of group photos, we had these beautiful Africa for the Africans t-shirts. And that's currently what I'm wearing right now. This is our last Egypt t-shirt. So as time go along, we mix the colors of our red, black, green, and gold flag with the colors of the country and just kind of select colors to just stand out that represent our movement of Pan-Africanism and the energy of the country. So that's us there in Tanzania and Ghana, which represent our biggest group since yeah, since this COVID-19 era. And so you'll see groups as small as six of us, which I don't really push, but in some cases we just make it work. To group as big in 30 to 40 of us. So it's just based on the individuals that are interested. We just make it work. And what we do is just base it on whatever group size we have. That's what kind of bus that we organize to where all of us could be comfortable in the bus. But that is 2025. And that's the energy that took us around the African continent, especially if you just look at the last Egypt journey. That's us in Abu Simbel. So I'm going to be talking about the schedule of what I was able to adjust because when we get to certain places like Abu Simbel, I don't need any tour guide or any tour ship or any cruise ship trying to rush us from one of the most important places in Egypt history. So I've adjusted the schedule to where we'll be able to have more time here at Abu Simbel. You see how small we are? Well, the photos adjusted. If you look at a realistic photo, we basically look like ants, and these are giant monuments. That's how big this temple is. But we kind of pan the camera so we can just be close to the pharaohs. And you keep on scrolling down, that's just us at circle parts of the world. So just always want to show people our documentation of what we have done, organized in different groups of us to just come together and just enjoy a great solidarity. So most of the last journeys, we just try to do our best to just take group photos with our group t-shirts, which when we do one of the next conference call, we'll work it out when we're going to actually just wear the t-shirt and just take group photos. So right now, I don't have a specific location, but we'll figure it out and just work out the best time to do it. And then you just keep on scrolling down. I'm just gonna scroll down real fast. And then what you see is the years go by and you'll see the years consistent. So you won't see a year that I actually miss. It'll just be nonstop. So anything else that's been going on in my life, I always make it a priority for us to show up in Africa and support Black-owned business, build relationship with those of us on the continent, and just kind of keep the energy going. And it's something that builds a foundation for the future. It's like, you know, we're all still trying to figure it out. Because at one point we didn't have this kind of solidarity and connection on the African continent, and we're trying to break the barriers of, some of us would just claim that, you know, they're Americans or just claim that they have no connection to Africa, which is absolutely fine. We're never here to force people to be connected to Africa. But I always tell everyone, when you look at the Indians, the Chinese, the Lebanese of the world, they're all in Africa, and they all have a connection to their own home continent, and their goal is to be global people. And so trying to get us open to be global people and not look at the unfortunates of our divide and our conquest, whether it's through the transatlantic slave trade or whether it's through the systems that's created to keep us divided, so others can just you know, be have one or two up on us. But it's always up to us for us to build our connections with other people like ourselves in other parts of the world. And it's up to us to work it out. And that's why I talk about my love and connection and inspiration from Marcus Garvey, because he was one of those figures that over 100 years ago laid that foundation down and explained that situation of Africa for the Africans and us building a connection to our African continent. And so these recent pictures that you just saw, this was during the COVID-19 era. So as you can see, the COVID-19, Ebola, world financial crisis, whatever the situation, it has never stopped us from going to the African continent because it has never stopped anyone else, any other nationality of people to go into the African continent whether they're business people or whether they're going on their European vacation to go somewhere, much nicer and relaxed with great weather and great beaches. And these are all multiple groups, but then you start getting to the point where it slows down to where 2016 just represent this the years when we just used to do one journey. So it took me a good 10 years to just really get to where we are. And so for the first 10 years, we're just literally doing one, maybe two journeys. And in some cases, the one or two journeys represent three countries like Ghana, Togo, Benin, which is, and then as you scroll down, all you see just mainly Ghana. So that was our foundation, and then just kind of expanded as time go along. Once I learned to build these tour programs, so that's sharing the history, and then we come to where it slows down, and that's our foundation there. We started our business in October of 2006, and this was the first journey, this the fact finder mission to this experience Africa with a group, and then from there we just kind of build stronger. All right, so now I'm going to click on the link that say Egypt Roots and Culture Tour 2026. So this is a link that I've shared with everyone for everyone to take their time and go through the overview, the itinerary, the general terms, that includes all terms, visa guidelines, which is mainly the process of creating your visa login to submit your details to get your visa. But I did mention that we can do visa on arrival, which will be since we get to Egypt early, that will just give us time to just take our time and just do that process to kill a little time since we have to work out with what's the earliest that the hotel could accommodate us since we're getting there early and they don't start checking too much later, which is something that will work out. But the options for visa, when I go through the full details, is visa on arrival and also the quick Egypt visa where you just log in, upload your ticket and upload your reservations, and then the submit your visa. The visa process is 30 days, so it's something that we can't do right away. And I'll definitely just go through more of it. Then tour preparation. This is a tour link detailed breakdown of like 30 points that goes through this full preparation of information. So since we're just talking about our Egypt journey only, what I'll do is start with a tour overview, and then I'll just go right into the tour itinerary in much more detail. And Egypt Roots and Culture Tour, April 1st to the 13th. And a famous, iconic photo. So right now we're set to where we're leaving from JFK, New York, and I'll break down the time in the itinerary. And so the tour includes entrance and access to all sites and activities, transportations and tours throughout Egypt, daily continental breakfast and gourmet dinner. And in case when we're on the cruise ship, we'll be able to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Hotel accommodation, and we have certified English speaking tour guides because native or local language that they speak in Egypt is Arabic. So whenever we go to this, regardless of whatever country, just make sure that we have guides that speak your language that can understand you, that can communicate with you. So I always encourage everyone to just have as many questions as possible, and that way you can just get some direct answers. And then we do a whole lot of this, social group networking while we're there. So what's not included is $100 for group tips and lunch outside of the Nile cruise. And then you pay for your own visa fee and processing. So Cairo is 4 nights, and I've adjusted the hotel from what we originally had to this incredible Holiday Inn City Star, just to give you as much luxury and comfort, and set the schedule this time for us just to land in Cairo and stay in Cairo for a few days. And the Nile cruise is gonna give us our 4 nights. That way, when we get to Luxor, we can literally just be on a cruise ship, and then we do our tours for the first day and the second day, and then the cruise will leave out. So looking to get the finalized flow of the schedule and the finalized flow of the boat that we're going to be using. So I got our tour operators working on it, so I'll be able to just modify the schedule with full exact details. And unfortunately, in Egypt, they change flight schedules and they change things up so frequent. Sometimes it's just rough to really put something that say this is how it's going to be ahead of time, and then that's the exact thing that it's going to be when we actually travel. So you usually need to just be patient and flexible with them while they make the adjustments, especially with the flight schedule. I've never seen flight schedule change and adjust so much. Because we do have to, this is a big country, so we're moving around from domestic flights to cruise ship to bus it. So that's how we're moving around the country to cover, we're covering a long strip of the Nile from Cairo to Abu Simbel. It's like literally a far distance. And we're covering all of that on a 10 night itinerary. The link here is just for the various cruise ships, just to give you an idea of the cruise ships that's offered. And when it comes to Aswan, the biggest adjustment that I wanted to make in the schedule was trying to get us to physically be in Aswan versus being there on a cruise ship. That way, we can dictate our own movement or control our own movement as far as this site right here, Abu Simbel, because they set it up to where by the time you go to Amber Symbol, you have to drive back fast, and then the ship is waiting for you to leave. I thought it was like the wildest thing. So I made some adjustment, completely just changed the schedule from last year, which was a very nice schedule, but wanted to give you something that's more luxury. So I found, and then once we get to Aswan, I wanted to get us a resort on the Nile. The other resort was in the middle of the Nile and caused logistic issues to where we have to keep taking a boat over, boat with luggage and things like that. So this resort is literally position us like once we get off the cruise ship, it's just a short drive, and then the resort is there to where we can literally just relax, enjoy our time in Abu Simbel, enjoy our time in Aswan, and visit the different sites. So I'm gonna break all those sites down while we do the tour itinerary. So that's just a breakdown of highlights of the actual overview. So the full itinerary breakdown, and then I'll just open things up if anyone have any questions, and we talk some more, and then we just continue on. So this is a full day-to-day. itinerary. So meet and greet is at 11 a.m. at Egypt departure terminal, which is going to be Terminal 1. JFK Airport has multiple terminals, like Delta is Terminal 4, but Terminal 1 is where you're going to need to get to because the flight departs at 12:55 p.m. So I don't know how flight schedules are going to work out for some people, so that's the main thing that I wanted to just talk with everyone about. Whatever you have to do, if you just need to get you a flight that gets to New York Tuesday night, and then you know you just overnight in New York, and then just make your way to Terminal One early. The earlier the better. If you can get there 3, 4 hours, that's always ideal. So that's what myself is planning to do, either overnight or just work out an early flight. So for those who haven't arranged their flights, you can arrange it based on the schedule. And for those who have things work out for them, I'll work it out for you. But that's the time frame I want everyone to just focus on. And I've kept on looking at the schedule to make sure nothing has changed. But these are all in group booking, but they do change the schedule sometimes. Right now, it is showing that we actually get to, and I'll update this, and that's one of the things you have to just keep updating the changes. So we're set to leave at 12:55 p.m. and get to Cairo now at 5:15. Did have some notes on that change. So yes, it gets there at 5:15. So I don't know what the allotment of the 30 minutes extra time for flying, but we're in no rush because we have to just work out getting settled at the hotel and working on early check-in. So it's 5:15 now on the arrival. And before we actually travel and get set up, any details of schedule changes, all of those will be finalized. And that's one of the things you have to just try to do and work out. So we're set for the Holiday Inn in Cairo, about 20-minute drive from the airport, far enough to get us away from the airport to where we just can be out a little bit. Last time we stayed, this literally just on the airport campus, which was not unique for myself because once you leave out of the hotel, all you doing is seeing vehicles drive by. So this put us in a location where you have space to move around and do things, and then you have a better facility to just enjoy the time that we're gonna spend there in Cairo, which is 4 nights. So with us getting there early, it's might throw some of us off. So just working it out to where the first day is not much of a pressure. I do want to get us to where we can have lunch and then at least take our tour bus out to just get an initial introduction into Cairo. So some of these things I'm going to work out with a guide and especially and find out how they want to do certain things and then work things out to where we more than likely just have our dinner there at the hotel or we'll find somewhere unique for us to have a welcome dinner. All right, so day three, Friday, April 3rd, and this is going to be your Cairo city tour. It'll be an extension from the first day because I don't know how much you're going to be able to get on day two as far as moving around, but the schedule is adjusted to where those next 3 days are your actual tour schedule. So city tour in Cairo. And then day four, Saturday, April 4th, that everyone has been asking me about this new Egyptian museum. Yeah, so now we get to go to the Grand Egyptian Museum. So in that location, we're going to be doing back to back. The first day we'll go to the Grand Egyptian Museum, then do some shopping or do shopping. And the Grand Egyptian Museum is somewhere where you can probably spend 2, 3 days. So we'll summarize it as best as possible, but I wanted to make sure that we had a designated day to visit the Grand Egyptian Museum. And doing our city tour, the other museum, the Egyptian Museum of Antiquity, we'll definitely make sure you get an introduction from that museum first. And that museum is going to prepare you for this museum. So two incredible museums. Day five, Sunday, April 5th. That's the Giza Pyramid. So you're talking about the Great Sphinx, and also wanted to just break down that look. It's in the same exact location. You're just, you're further out in the Giza Plateau. So we're going back to the same exact location. And the goal of that is not to try to cram everything in to where you're doing all of these things in a short period of time. So that's why it's broken down to where we have 2 days out. And then while you're in the Giza Pyramid, viewing the pyramids and viewing the Great Sphinx, you'll be able to just also just, we'll work it out to where we can possibly do some ATV desert safari. But if nothing else, we're definitely gonna make sure everyone get an incredible camel ride, and you take all these nice pictures along the pyramids, and it's a iconic, incredible, this scenic view. So definitely want to make sure that we have as much time as possible to enjoy these great memories. So these 2 days are going to be this incredible and iconic. All right, so that is going to be 4 nights there at in Cairo at the Holiday Inn, and these Holiday Inns are usually a little bit more incredible than what you see in the U.S. base. They just do incredible hotels slash resorts in different parts of the world. So flight schedule, these flight schedules, I'm still trying to find us a later flight because we don't really need to just get to the cruise ship that early. Uh, so Egypt Air has been adjusting flight schedules that I just not been able to keep up with. But we'll work it out to where we have a set of flight schedule. But my goal is to get you a later flight than this. That way, after a busy time in Cairo, you don't have to just get your dinner, go to your room, rest, and then get back up early. So I did look at some modification for adjusted flight schedule for us to leave out actually at 7:55. And I have to confirm this with them if they're going to change the schedule again before I put it on the actual itinerary. So I have a meeting with our tour operator tomorrow and then talk with them on when they want us to check into the cruise ship so we can just get these finalized. But I do my best to create an itinerary to just give you a flow of what you're going to expect. That way we have something to where it gives you clarity of your movements and what you're going to be doing. But these things usually get adjusted to the exact precise schedule, and because that's what I'm going to need for the book. That way when we're on the trip, we are set in a set schedule. So right now, that's what it shows as an early flight. And if it gives us an advantage to where when we get there, we can do a lot more. But when we get to Luxor, the goal is just to really just for you to enjoy the Karnak Temple and really spend time enjoying it. And then do a city tour also of Luxor. And then we just head back on the Nile cruise where we overnight on the cruise ship. Tuesday, April 7th, this is our West Bank tour. So the unique part of what we have set up here is the Valley of the Kings and Queen Hatshepsut Temple. And so that's primarily the three highlights of what we're going to have set for Luxor, because from there on, we have to position ourselves back on the ship to where we start our voyage to Aswan. And while we are journeying on the Nile down towards Aswan, we have two temples, Kom Ombo and Edfu. And I like this schedule because you get to see both of these temples in the daytime. So you'll see one in the morning and then one in the afternoon once we finish lunch, and then dock again. And then day nine, that's when we arrive in Aswan. And then we're gonna check out of our cruise. And the most unique thing is we have a very short ride to our hotel where we can get ourselves settled in. Well, more than likely, what we end up doing is taking you to the Nubian Museum and then get you checked in to the hotel from the Nubian Museum. That way, we can have more time at the Nubian village. So that's a adjustment of this schedule to get us a hotel where we just short drive or get off the cruise ship, visit the Nubian Museum, check into the hotel, get ourselves settled, enjoy lunch, and then have a great afternoon at the Nubian village. So those are the parts of the journeys that I wanted to adjust because I didn't like the flow of how it went, where we didn't spend the time that we really needed to spend at the Nubian village, which we'll have an incredible host that will talk about it once we open things up. All right, to make sure I'm looking at this correctly. Well, this the Nubian Museum and Nubian Village is actually Friday. When we do get to Aswan, you'll have a few different things that we'll be able to also do. Yeah. So these will be finalized as I get their finalized schedule for their cruise ship and then select the things that we want to do from what we don't want to do. But this give you this a good amount of time in Aswan to where we just spend more time there than the last time. And on our final day in a well final night. We're gonna actually just depart early Saturday to Abu Simbel. It's a 3 to 4 hour drive, so it's a little drive. But once we get there, we don't have no rush because we don't have no schedule for the rest of the day. So we'll enjoy the tour of Abu Simbel. Then make sure that everyone just have as much time as possible to enjoy shopping, and then get back in the afternoon to where you can just get back and relax, and then get ourselves organized to focus on checking out the next day and heading to Cairo and working out a late night flight for us to get to Cairo because the flight on day 13, April 13th, literally leave in the morning at 4:50. They have like the wildest schedule, and it doesn't help someone like myself who like to plan logistic. It doesn't make it just work out easy. And I'm used to schedules like in countries like Kenya, Tanzania, and South Africa. They have like perfect schedules and flights throughout the country. But nevertheless, we're in Egypt, so I have to work with what they have. So this is literally the most complicated schedule to work out because of them not having consistent flights and throughout the day. So we just work with what we have. So some of these time frames you're gonna have, it's gonna be a little awkward because it's you're thinking this is early in the morning, but if I had any other better options, I would work it out. So we're gonna be working out as many things as possible, but we can't do anything about us having to depart that early in the morning. So we make sure that you get to Cairo and we just enjoy our last night and socialize. And we're just gonna have to just get everybody to the airport early, about 4 hours ahead of time, and we just take our time and just process through check in and just lounge around and then make our way back to JFK. So this is the flow of the schedule, and I'll definitely have something in full detail on every single last location and everything that we're doing to a T, and that's our build up. But this has been good enough to work with our tour operator, where they help fill certain things in to where when we talk again, we'll be able to just have more full details in each of the locations on exactly what we're gonna do, which is never the simplest thing, but that's how I like to write schedules where you have all of these things so you're clear about every single site, every aspect of what you're doing. So this is upgraded and adjustment from the last time that we talked about the schedule. And then you can just click on the link to this hotel. I feel like everyone is gonna just love the location because you're right there on the Nile to where you can just have a beautiful view of the entire Nile. And that's after you just floating up the Nile, and now you're just settled, from a cruise ship to a resort. And so, family, that is the overview and the flight itinerary. I'm gonna stop screen sharing so we can interact. All right, so family, appreciate everyone. That's probably a lot to go through, and hopefully I didn't lose anyone. But I wanted to see if anyone had any questions about anything from the hotels, the cruise ship, the sites, or any of the things that I talk about.
Yeah, I got one question.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So that when on our flight back, what's the hours it to fly from Egypt back? Coming back to New York. So then that way, because I live in Florida, and and so I want to make sure that I'm able to, um, have so I don't overnight in New York
Yes,
that
exactly. So that's why I have
be
the
able to come back.
that's why I have the exact schedule on it. The flight get us at 10:25 a.m. in the morning in New York.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, so you
okay.
can make all your plans and arrangements on the departure flight and the return flight because everything in between we're gonna take care of. But that's the most important
Oh,
thing to work out. So you should be able to get some good flights in the morning. So
okay, okay.
yeah, that's that's Egypt here. That's their schedule. Them in Royal Morocco do some awkward schedules. I'm telling you. Uh,
Okay.
I don't know if it's because of their position in North Africa, but or because of um, their position in the desert, but it's something that I had to just get used to.
I got another question. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay. So when like you say we go to the Valley of the Kings and so forth.
Yes, we go to the Valley of the Kings and Queen Hatshepsut Temple in Luxor while we're literally overnighting on the ship from Luxor.
Okay, so that's a whole day. You say that's a whole day. That's gonna be the whole day there, or is that? I mean, do you?
W- Yeah, once we get to Luxor, we do our Karnak temple the initial day, and then the next day we're gonna get up from the ship early, and then we're gonna go to the Valley of the Kings and then Queen Hatshepsut temple, and then make our way back on the ship for our departure. So
Okay, okay. I
yeah,
might have
so
missed that.
I'll also be able to get you times. It's hard to position times with you're looking at possibly leaving the ship 6, 7 in the morning. So that will give you a good amount of time to visit as many parts of the Valley of the Kings.
Okay,
So,
okay,
so it's going to be some early movements. I didn't want to just throw those time frames on there. I do want to plan them out and coordinates before I put them on there. But once you're
okay,
on the schedule, just be prepared to just get up early. That way we can get the sites early and enjoy all aspects of the sites. And then also the weather is much better for you just to get up in the morning because it does get hotter in the daytime as time go along.
what's the highest temperature?
I mean, you're looking at possible once you get out there to the desert, possibly 80 degrees, 90 degrees,
Oh,
and then some
oh,
points on the trip you're looking at about 70 degrees. So the weather does fluctuate from light cold to hot. And I'm trying to remember last time I was there. I was there in April also. So we do recommend make sure you bring sweater and a jacket. And even in November, it was the same situation. When we think of
oh,
Egypt, we think of it as being hot, but you're gonna have some time where it gets a little chilly.
okay. Jim.
So yeah, so I definitely want everyone to make sure they take a look at the itinerary link and just be clear on things, but understand that fine-tuning adjustments will be made. But when it comes down to this, the generalization of it, that's what our schedule look like, especially with the sites that we have on there to highlight. And then if we can add a few things in, we'll just add it in. But go ahead, next person.
Bomani, this is Doreen. How are you?
Hey, greetings, Doreen. I'm doing well. About yourself?
Good. I'm doing good. I have not read the itinerary yet, but I will. And I read everything. Um, just off the cuff, I was wondering, do women or we require burqas or anything like that at any point in time on the trip?
Can you repeat that?
Or do the women require burqas, the covering at any time for any place that we go? I think they're called burqas. You know how sometimes women have to be covered? Um, because my job has people that go to different places, and sometimes the women on my job who do training, they go to different countries. They have to wear the burqas, and I just didn't know if that might be required at any point in time. I'm thinking not.
So yeah, so this is what we do. You'll be able to purchase a scarf And then
Oh,
in some situations you have your scarf, and if you just need to cover your, you know, and I wish I like we was in the desert, and that's what we end up doing all of us, because of the wind and the sand. But yeah, that's the best thing I could recommend for ladies. You don't have to just buy any burkas or anything. You're just using a scarf and you're covering that part of your face. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
covering your head and your hair, correct?
Yes, and then if your skirt or dress is too short, then you just use a scarf to kind of just cover up to where it just show that you have a longer
Okay,
dress or skirt on.
gotcha.
So that's my solution for anyone, and you just keep it with you, something
Right.
very light to where, if we decide we're going to a location, the
Hmm.
tour guide will say, well, in this location, you need to cover a certain part of your body.
Right.
Example of last time we was in Tanzania, we went to a museum and some of the ladies had short skirts on, and
Hmm.
the guys came out and they gave everybody a scarf and to cover up to cover
Okay.
certain to show to cover
Yeah.
up down to their knees basically, and that's just Tanzania, but that was the Muslim culture setup that they had there. And so I went over to them. I was like, my shorts is above my knees. Do I get one? And they'll laugh at me, but it's it's their system of how they do things, whether it's a Muslim country or Arab country, or so we just kind of go with the flow. But I depend on my tour guides to just talk with us and explain those things, so they'll be able to share those details. But that's my solution is just to have a scarf, whether you bring one or you get a colorful one in the country.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Sure. Sure. Go ahead. Introduce yourself and go ahead.
Freddie, this is Freddie Williams.
Greetings, Freddie. Good talking with you.
Okay, it was some application forms that was printed on the website for the visas. So is this the same type of form we're going to be using on arrival, or should I just don't pay this any attention?
Visa on arrival just require you to when you're in a country, you're basically using your passport, and you're using your accommodations, and you're using your ticket from the flight you just came from. So those are the three requirements.
So
Uh,
this form that I have that was printed on the website is really null and void because I'm going to do it when I get there, right?
Yes, I'm basically providing Egypt visa information, whether you mail it into the embassy and get some people may want a 5-year visa, um, but visa on arrival is good for 30 days, and we're only there in the country for 10 days, so it's just something simple. If no one wants to go through this doing the online process or doing the mail-in process, but I have those information provided. But I'm encouraging everyone just to go with the flow with us, and we all take our time and get visa on arrival, and then keep it simple.
Okay, should I bring some of the little small 2x2 photos just in case?
I'll definitely let everyone know that as far as those photos, but what you're going to see when you're there, they're just using your passport.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the
All right.
same thing when we're in other countries and we do visa on arrival. Only thing they want to know is that they know you came on a flight, so they want to confirm your flight information. They want to get your hotel details, and then your passport is used for everything else.
Okay. That's all I needed to know.
Yes. So not stopping anyone from doing the other process, but just trying to just keep it simple so we don't have to stress ourselves because it's not going to make much of a difference. And then if I did plan on just looking through the online e-visa process, and if I do find it a little easier and it's not stressful for everyone, then we can just get everyone to create an account and get it out the way ahead of time. So it's something that none of us can do any of those things right now. So it's not something that I wanted to just pressure us on, but it's something that I just always want to make sure that we get out. But the focus on the visa will definitely be more so in March. And when I mean March, I'm talking about more so in mid-March. That way, whatever you submit, the 30-day visa is good for the duration of your time in Egypt. But it's good to just be clear and know about it. The only thing is this, when you look at the website, they don't have like much information about visa on arrival because they want you to do the visa process by mailing it into Washington, D.C. or doing the online form. Yeah. So last time we had a few people that they left from Egypt to Sierra Leone and they had to come back and get Egypt visa, and the best way for them was just to do it at the airport.
Okay.
Perfect. Greetings, Sister Akuvi. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm doing well. We have one of our good sisters that traveled us last time to Egypt and has been a person that traveled to Egypt many times over, and she'll be associating with us while she's there. I'm going to give her a moment so she can talk and share information about Egypt.
Well, what do you want to know? What do they want to know?
Yes, Akubi, if you'd just like to share your experience with us on the last journey, and then just share with us anything that you feel that's good to share with us. I made the adjustment on the schedule. I had to do a bunch of adjustment to where we can be settled in Aswan and spend a good amount of time and go to even some additional sites, which uh,
Stuff is over the rest of this.
and I found us a
Okay.
nice hotel where we're right there on the Nile.
Well, I went with Bomani to Egypt this past time, and I was there 3 times before. So with Bomani, that was my 4th trip um, to Egypt, and everything was wonderful. But he know my preference is Aswan, but the Nubians, the original Egyptians, that's where you see most of our people. Even though we're all over the place, those areas where it's a high concentration. So you probably see people that look like family members or friends or whatever. And well, it's an experience. And when I went last time with them, I was there a week before them. So I have a Nubian family. So I was with my family. And then I met Bomani them when they were coming back from the Nubian Museum when they went to Aswan. So I was there. And then I came on with everybody else. So this time, the way it looks, I'll probably leave out on the 1st with you all, and then you won't see me probably anymore because I may be there for maybe a month, but I'll be there longer than you all. So that's for now. So I know a lot of the spots there, especially Aswan. And Aswan is especially I can't speak for Cairo and the rest of the places, but when I went to Aswan last time, there you have the forex where you could change money because I even showed money where to go at. So you could change your dollars to Egyptian pound there, and right next to it they have the ATM, and you don't need a debit card. You just put your $100 or your 50. The larger the bill. That's in basically most countries. The larger the bill, the more you'll get as far as your exchange. So if you got a crisp $100 bill or $50 bill, you could put it right in on the screen. It'll basically ask you how you want the money in Egyptian pounds, but you have to do it really quick. But because it'll close out on you. But if it does close out on you, just do it again, and then you get your Egyptian pounds, and you can compare that rate with the forex, which is probably a few dollars away, and you just go with the higher rate. If the debit machine give the higher rate, change it there. If not, then with the forex, change it. Either way, it's a plus plus, and your dollar go a long way. And as far as what Bomani was saying about the safety, yes, we were all in the downtown area, all at night, going through the streets and everything. So it's very, very safe. As far as the dress with before, it should be more so modest attire. Because if you coming up with shorts and stuff, or your cleavage and stuff showing and things real short, it's still basically a Muslim country, but people will look at you kind of, funny and odd. You definitely would stand out because most of the women, they have a scarf most of the time, even if they have on pants and stuff, it's covered. It's not like the hot pants and the tight pants. And in other words, you're not in the U.S., but
You
people will
use
stare at you.
ma'am, you use the term matza attire. Is that what you said,
Excuse
matza?
me?
Did you use the
Modest,
term? Say that again.
Modest attire.
Modest. Oh, modest. Okay, gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Okay.
some people, they showing their breasts and all and high
Yeah.
cleavage, especially if they're heavy chested. Yes, you'll stick out because people
Right.
don't want to be dressing like that.
Right. We want to be appropriate for the countries that
Right.
we're.
And I've noticed after having traveled 43 plus countries, I've noticed a lot of, people in general, you know, it's like they miss the memo. A lot of times they're not appropriate. Not everybody, but you always have, those few individuals that are not appropriate on all types of trips. You see them and they stand out.
Yeah, and that's why I recommended this having a scarf, because some places, it's okay, and some places it may not be. But I have the tour guide explain those things. That way you could be prepared. Because some people like to, uh, you know, you know, dress a little more sexier, but don't want to stop people from doing what they're doing. But they will need to have a scarf to cover their top and their legs if their dress or skirt is above their knees.
Yes.
Can you use American money over there versus using their money, or they like their money?
You're going to change over your dollar to the Egyptian pound.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. Some places rare, like if you're on the street or something like that, somebody may get it, but for the most part, they want that.
They
And
want
plus
their
you get,
money.
right. And also when you change over the dollar, I said before, you get a higher rate.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to go ahead with your dollar and get a lower rate, go ahead. Good
Okay.
luck with that one.
Okay. But I just know in some other African country you can spend your own money and it's pretty much even. But over there, okay, I understand. I
Yeah, the
change.
exchange rate. Yeah, I know. I've been to 14 African countries, but like I said, I've traveled 43 countries plus. So yeah, I know. And this will be,
Okay.
like I said, I've already gone to Egypt 4 times. So if I
Okay. I
am going
see.
this time, it'll be the fifth time.
I
So,
see.
hmm
Okay.
So definitely, Akuvi, appreciate you sharing that information. And also, Akuvi was there in Tanzania with us, along with a few other people that's on the call, Charlie, Angela, and also I'm trying to see if and Adrian. Yeah. So appreciate y'all
and I was,
coming back to another adventure. And Akuvi has traveled with us on many of our journeys. So always try to just ask her to come on and just share information on our journey so people can just hear from some of the people that have traveled with us to see the flow of how we do things and just to answer any questions and concerns and just that way we can just get everyone else who have not traveled with us or have traveled to the African continent that's clear on the process of how things flow and how things are done.
we keep it real.
So anyone else that's Akubi, continue to share. One of the things I wanted you to share was whatever the treat is that you have for us at the Nubian village, because last time you're not happy with our tour guide, and you voice your concerns. And, I always appreciate feedback. And you see what I've done? I've literally just modified that entire schedule. I've been working on it and adjusting it and trying to find fixes because one of the things that I, I didn't really feel was the fact that we're in one of the most incredible historical area, and I was like, how can I get us more time in Aswan to where we can also visit other parts in Aswan. So the schedule is set to where we sacrifice some time in Luxor as much as I love Luxor.
hmm
Now we have more time in Aswan to where you can just basically look at it as 3 days. And the last time it felt like a day and a half, and then being rushed from Abu Simbel. And the cruise ship, they're just beeping their horns like, where are you guys at? Where are we at? And then we rushing on. And as soon as we get on, the ship pull off. And that was
Yeah.
not a cool movement. So now we're literally physically there where our hotel is right from where the cruise ship would dock. Just about I want to say it's like maybe less than a mile. And then now
Yeah.
we can you and your associates can come and visit us because now we'll be at a social hotel, and then the group members can interact with people from the culture in Aswan, and then also when they go to the Nubian village, they'll also be able to have interaction, but also we'll be able to have many hours there because last time the tour guide was just trying to get us to his people so he can get us cut and everything. There's things that just
Yeah. He,
unacceptable.
yeah,
Here.
he was ridiculous. And Bomani, know me. Of course, I was on him like mad. So he won't forget me, and I know he's glad that he probably won't see me again. And also, in the Nubian village, they have camel rides also there also. And again, when you're in the Nubian village, you're also dealing with, our folks. When you at the other areas and stuff, You see our people and you deal with them, but it's like limited. It's mostly the Arabs or combinations. But when you go to Aswan, like I don't want to say everything, you'll see. And a lot of times when people, go and they go to Luxor, they go to other places, you're gonna buy because there's so many things to buy. There's so many things that you're gonna like to see and stuff. But a lot of people, Aswan is normally at the end of the trip. So by the time they get to Aswan, they broke or almost broke. So, and that's a good, get way of, keeping in the community and then helping our own folks too. So practically anything you want, you get. And then the Nubian, they have their own, their own culture, their style, even their outfits and the things they have, the handcrafts and stuff is different than the regular stuff you will find basically in Egypt. And if you find some of it, it's where people from Cairo and those different places, they go on holiday or whatever, and they come down to the Nubian village and buy the things. Because you'll see their outfits, everything is just different. It's more
So
native, it's not commercial.
so excuse me. So you saying it's better to actually spend your money more in Aswan than in this Cairo or whatever?
Um,
We should wait. I mean, should we wait to, maybe spend if we're gonna go shopping to do it more in Aswan as opposed to Cairo?
I think Cairo and all the places, you should, if it's things that you like and stuff, of course, you go ahead and get that. But then down, with Nubian, go there, with our folks too. But like I said before, a lot of times before, most people never even heard of Aswan and definitely the Nubian village and stuff. So a lot of times, because there's gonna be so many things everywhere, because we got stuff from basically everywhere. So it's gonna be so many
Oh,
things. So if it's something that capture, your eye, your attention and stuff, of course, I'm not gonna say don't get anything in Luxor, Cairo, Abu Simbel, because there's places and all, things in all those places. But definitely when you go to Nubia, it's gonna be things also, even in Aswan
so
in general. Mhm.
so what would you say should be maybe? I mean, I know it might be hard to say, give a number, but as far as money, if you're gonna, have money to spend to buy things that catch your eye, I
Okay.
mean,
On personal,
what would you say?
okay, like you said, everybody's different and stuff. As far as a personal, I was a Girl Scout, so be prepared. So I'm gonna say for as far as for Egypt, oh yeah, I'd rather have a little too much than less. Okay,
Too
so I won't
little.
have to
Okay.
go to credit card or whatever that, because you can use credit card more so in Egypt than a lot of places, but Africa in general, it's basically cash, converting the money over. So if it was me and I'm going say basically to Egypt, with me, I'm gonna start. I'm having at least 1,000. That's me. Now other
Yeah.
people, it may be 300, it may be 400 or whatever, but I'd rather budget myself for a little more. If I'm in Ghana, it's even more. So it depends on the country and where I'm going and what I'm doing, the connection, blah, blah, blah. And again, I got a Nubian family there, so I will be going with more of that because I help them too, so I would give them something. So in my case, like I said, it's different. But as far as for myself, my personal, it'd be like 1,000 at the minimum. Hmm.
Okay. What about at the most? What about at the most?
Well, again, I told you I have a Nubian family, so my situation is different. So, and
Yeah.
that's why I can't tell you. With you, I guess if you would have paid about 2 grand, you probably won't even need all that. But for you, I say
Okay.
maybe 2 grand. But some people it's like 400, 500. If I'm in Ghana, like I
Okay.
said, I have in-laws, I have family, I have different things, so it's gonna be far more than that. So it's been like
Okay.
Tanzania. When I was in Tanzania, I think I might have brought maybe 2 grand. Something like it depends on the country, where I'm going, how long I'm going to be there. If I'm there in Ghana, I'm there like let's say 3 months, 2 months, something like that. So it's going to be far more. That's different. Okay. If I'm in
Okay.
Aswan and I'm in Egypt, that's like a month. Okay. If I went with Bomani in Tanzania, or when I was with him in Senegal and Gambia, that was like basically what the 10 days or something like that. And that was two different countries. So, you know, it depends. But some people I
Okay.
know, some people are not spenders too. That's another thing. We have some people that don't really spend, and some of the people that I've been on the trips with, and Bomani could tell you too. Some people have brought as little as about 400 or 500. One of my cousins came to Egypt. That was her second time to Africa. She was in Nigeria. I didn't know that a while back with a friend, and when she came, I don't know how much exactly she had, but I don't think overall she spent because I know she had to get her another a little suitcase, but she had one. So I don't think she probably spent more than 200. That was her.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So this is, and she got a few things. She didn't have as much the stuff that I had. And like I said, I was there before Bomani and all of them because I was with my Egyptian family. So she didn't have as much as I had. But as far as watching her when she was buying a few things, and that's another thing. When you go to, the countries, because some of you all probably never been to the continent, and Bomani will tell you bargain, bargain. So if you have a gift for gab and talking, because Bomani will tell you about me, you have to bargain. If you're not good at
Yeah.
bargaining and stuff, you could get burnt every time. So Bomani will tell you how I am in action in any country. It doesn't matter. He will tell you. So my cousin, and for example, just like some of the other people who was with us, we told them. But some people were kind of shy like or a little bit, say a few things. So I was around most of the people, and they got some little bargains here and bargains there, but they didn't get what I got. So I put it that way. Same thing in Tanzania. They didn't get the bargains and stuff that I got. I know that for a fact.
Okay. Okay. I got you. All right. Well, that's good to know.
Okay, so you seem like you got a gift for gab. All of you all that's on the line has been talking, and the lady, I think, what Miss Doreen and Mr. Ernest and all y'all seem like y'all have a gift for gab. So really use it this time.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Adrian. I have a question about when we first arrive,
Right.
even though we arrive very early at 5:15 in the morning, will we be able to check into the hotel before 9 o'clock?
That is a great question, and that has to be worked out with them. So that is what I'm looking to work out and have our tour operators put in a good word for us so they can have some rooms ready for us, because that's the issue with hotels all the time is they have guests that are in the rooms that are checking out, and some guests are open to checking out early, and some guests want to maximize their time and check out at 12 o'clock. So that's something that logistically I'm working on to work out, and it's always based on if they're completely fully booked or overbooked. So we just have to kind of be patient with them. But one of the things that we do have is to where uh, if we're limited, what we do is we'll get the bags in the lobby, and then we'll just make our way around and then just enjoy Egypt. We'll find somewhere we can have breakfast and then just enjoy a brief journey until they're clear to get us checked in, and then we can just relax a little bit, get back up, and go out for lunch, and then just enjoy this an introduction of a city tour.
And my second question is when we are on the cruise ship, if we leave at like 6 in the morning, do we eat breakfast first or we just depart?
Oh, yeah, so breakfast is provided early because they have the same schedule for everyone, which they try to do a lot of the things in Egypt. That's why you see these crazy early flights. They just like to do things early to where the weather is a lot cooler. So they usually provide breakfast early, and then you go do your tour, you come back for lunch, and then you can do something else.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Absolutely good to talk with you,
Nice
Adrian.
to talk to you.
We can only see half of your face. You have the
Mr.
camera.
Bomani, sorry.
Yeah, so so you must have been very excited about your Tanzania journey to join us back quick, because I remember telling you, I was like, let's see if you can survive Tanzania before we get you on Egypt.
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, a lot of good food, and a lot of very nice people. It was great.
So perfect. And then Angela is probably being shy. She has her mic and also her video off. Hello, Angela, you there?
I'm here.
Well, well, it's good to have both of you back. I was telling Akubi when Akubi was like, both of you wanted to go to Egypt. I was like, well, let's see if they can survive. Not everybody can survive it in Africa, because the schedule. It's just it's you're going somewhere for 10 days, and you're like, okay, he has all of these cities involved in 10 days, and you just want to know if people can keep up. Honestly, 'cause I never know if people can keep up or not. And so you try to space it out as much as possible. It seemed like everybody was able to get up, get on their flights, get on their ferry boats, and move around. And which you wish you could have stayed the location you was at a little longer. But in order to get the fullness and see more places, we just have to keep these movements going. So just like how we did the Tanzania journey where we just move, only difference is this I'm able to coordinate Tanzania a little simpler because they have so much flexibility in their flight schedule and different things, and everything just works like that. In Egypt, it's gonna be moments where we just have to get up like early. Even though I'm working with our tour operator to kind of limit those things, especially with the flights. That way, you don't feel like you're getting up 2 o'clock in the morning. Which last time Akuvi was with me, and Akuvi remember that was some wild stuff. Like we actually started our journey in Aswan. We got to Cairo and then having to check in, and then like 12 hours later, next you know, we're on a flight going to Aswan.
It was
And
really wild,
yeah, and
but we handled it.
yeah, so but I went back and just got a new tour operator and literally just modified the schedule as much as possible. And the main thing is that we definitely want to make sure we spend more time in Aswan, but it's similar logistics movements between like Ghana, Tanzania, and Egypt. You're going to like three major cities, and you have to get there logistically by plane, by something. So that's what all the movements are for, to just get you where you are efficiently.
It's Bomani.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Also the people that come, you would love the children. The little boys are gonna be waiting for you all right at the pier.
Yes, so
You
if
would-
anyone have school supplies and any kind of donations, I would say to save it for Aswan. And then when we go to the
yeah.
Nubian village, we can donate it to the same school that we did last time, or any school of your choosing, Akuvi, and your associates that will be there. And then let your associates know that we have a hotel that's not too far from where the cruise ship docks, so they'll be able to just come and socialize with us.
Okay, you just let
Yeah,
me know
because
the name.
every t well, yeah, the day when we get there, it'll be
We'll talk about it later.
yeah,
But
because
yeah, so
you always tell me that when is Bomani come? When is Bomani coming?
oh
So
yeah,
I
they
mean,
talk
since
about Bomani all the time. He's a legend there. But also with Bomani, I was talking about once they go to the ship, the children that's gonna be out selling things to them. I'm talking about those children.
oh yeah,
They won't forget them. Y'all gonna have some instant children and grandchildren when you meet them
yeah,
because
that's
they will
kind of
remember you. And also, people that's homesick for the U.S. Once you get off the ship or go to the ship, right outside, you say McDonald's. You walk up the street a little bit more, KFC. Those were the people that want that. Because the nightlife, it's like at night, and it's really pretty at night and stuff. And especially when you see out toward the water with the moving pick, it's really beautiful that sight. So it's a lot of lively stuff going on basically all night up and down that strip where all the cruise ships dock. And you see the other cruise ships, I think on a Thursday, I forgot the exact day, but you see maybe 6, 7, 8 cruise ships next to next. We were able to walk from one ship going in through another ship to get off the ship.
yeah. So you're gonna see some things. So those are why we just made the adjustments and adjusted the hotel that's across from the Movenpick to where you get a better view and you can
Beautiful.
actually get off the ship and actually walk into the town without having to take a boat over.
Yeah.
So I'm still working on some modification to create like the perfect flow of this our movements because it's and the greatest thing is that you're gonna be on the Nile the majority of the time while you're in Egypt. You know, it's like we all grew up hearing about the Nile River and hearing about all these great ancient cities and history, and you get to this literally just physically be in those locations. All right, and then
Uh,
we also have Charlie. Charlie, you wanted to say something? Charlie was also
Hi, cousin Charlie.
In Tanzania with us, so it's a few of us from our last Tanzania trip that's on this Egypt journey. So Charlie, what you wanted to say or share?
Mm,
You have to mute yourself. You have to unmute yourself.
Maybe he's gone. He
Yeah,
has to be there.
it'll pop up. You have to unmute yourself.
Oh, yeah, he's coming up. Oh, my name.
Okay, all right.
Cousin Charlie.
Okay. I was gonna say just say hi to Akuvi,
Hey, hey, family.
Adrian, and Angela.
Hey.
So we'll all meet again.
Yes.
Forever.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Forever, if
Indeed.
not longer.
No.
Hey, Angela.
Looking forward to seeing you all.
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
indeed.
Yes,
Me too.
yes.
Me
Family
too.
reunion. Happy New
Yes.
York
Absolutely.
last
A quick
year.
reunion.
Some
Yes,
more
happy
fun,
place.
lots of fun, lots of fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, remember our Swahili barbecue.
Oh,
Was
that was
delicious. That was
incredible.
delicious. Remember our boat ride?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, that was
man,
good. It was
yes.
great. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
On Thanksgiving. That was
Oh,
fantastic.
Yeah, while everybody was in America doing something else, we was in paradise.
we were in
Yes,
Exactly.
the
paradise.
food, the
Paradise.
food. The Messiah.
Bomani. Bomani.
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, quick question. How is it? Are the Egyptian people over there? Are they pretty friendly, or I mean, what's
Give and take. I have my own different philosophy on it, but yeah, people are generally nice, especially since you're in the world of tourism. Uh,
okay?
but Akubi may have a better, better feel because she spent more time in Egypt. But
Yes, I do. The Nubians. I'm with my folks.
I would say you have a better time in
Yeah,
Nubia. It's more like more like a family connection. Other
yeah,
parts of Egypt, especially Cairo, it's just it's a business city. But
yeah, yeah.
people, but but you're in the world of tourism, so everybody's there to accommodate you. And then the hotels that we chose is this hotel based on an American atmosphere.
Mm. Are you going to do the
Okay.
markets and stuff? You hear people saying Nubian, Nubians. They'll be calling you Nubians. I said,
Oh,
right
yes.
on.
So you get a more,
Okay.
you get a better connection to the end of the trip based on just the friendliness.
And how you look. Mhm.
In the beginning, you say we're gonna be in Cairo.
Yes, we're spending 4 nights in Cairo. Then we're gonna spend 4 nights on a cruise ship. Two of those nights, or one and a half, is gonna be in Luxor, and then we're gonna spend 3 days, 2 nights and 3 days in Aswan.
Right. So I guess my question was like, so those first few days in Cairo, I guess that I've heard that Arab people are sometimes not the friendliest toward people that look like us. You know what I mean? So that's why I was asking.
Yes, I picked that up also, and that's why I wanted to get us in an American brand hotel where they understand the customer service of it. Because last time we was in an Egyptian hotel and it wasn't that bad, but so that's a part of the adjustment of this relooking at everything that we did the last time in November 2024, and just looking to this make it to where we have a better connection. Not saying it was a bad connection, but always looking for ways to just improve
Improve.
our connection because. Sometimes we go places and it's people from everywhere else,
Yeah.
and it's not a whole lot of us. So I want to put us in the best environment. So,
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Okay.
what you're gonna see is like you're gonna see people from everywhere else, and
Mhm.
then you're always wondering like, where's all the black folks from the diaspora or from America? And that's one of the things that we always tell people like. While people are concerned about Africa, you have people there from everywhere. Like last time we were there, and it was just I never seen so much Asians in Egypt before. They're just
Mhm.
everywhere. They would
Mhm.
literally the majority of people that you saw everywhere, including
Mhm.
the Asian young ladies that like to wear their short outfits. They just
Mhm. And some of the groups where you saw mostly whites, you saw maybe, one brother, one sister. And it's like when they saw us, oh, we saw, oh, yeah, somebody was celebrating a birthday. And I think it was maybe 20 young women, their cousins and everything. And they were so glad to see us. And then the ones that were by themselves with a group, but they were the only one, they were glad to see us. They gave us that look. We gave that look. We did the high five and all that. Everybody else was just looking.
No.
So we traveled in a unit to where we traveled in a unit to where we just enjoy ourselves.
Hmm.
Even when we was in Tanzania, literally, I could remember I think we were the only black people on the resort. So
Oh, yeah,
sometimes,
but for people,
that's the
oh
issue
yeah,
we
so
have
we
in
walked
Africa.
proud. We owned the place, and then the people were coming right up to us. And beside those guys, we were right there
Mhm.
fitting in. That's right. So we had our head up high, like we owned the place, and we kept on going.
And
Yeah.
that was in Zanzibar. So
Remember in Zanzibar still, Remember at the barbecue we found
we found
some
a family from South
some African,
Africa.
yeah, they were coming
Oh
from
yes,
South
yes,
Africa, yeah, some girls, yeah.
yes, and the guy too was sitting behind
Yeah,
us.
and some
Yes,
guy, yeah, and they say that
Yeah.
they visit Jamaica quite a lot. Yeah.
right.
That's when Angela got her name. But when we came back from the
Yep.
trip, we were exhausted from partying and laughing and dancing
Yeah.
and having such a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
And the
just
thing
kind
was
of
so
we,
the thing
we,
was
we,
so the thing was really what was unique too, because 2023, that was my first time going, and I went with Mr. Bomani then. And it was so funny. The same room I had then at the hotel in Zanzibar was the same one on the resort, the same one that I had this time too. Now I don't play
92.
numbers, but if somebody played the number, somebody might have got rich. So I'm
Yeah,
looking for that same room the next time, because I
yeah,
hope to go back in 2027.
I
yes,
hope to get my
Ooh.
same room. I love my
I
room.
want my room. That's right. And I want to
81.
go Botswana 2027.
yeah,
Yes.
trying to figure out that schedule also. But yeah, sometimes we show up in countries and I know people think that I know when you showed up in Zanzibar, like you're like, where's all the black people at? And honestly, I've been telling people for the last 20 years, I was like, yeah, I would love for more of us to come and more other groups to come, but sometimes that's the situation. Like you show up in Ghana and it's just a black haven,
No, that's right.
but you show up in
Yeah.
somewhere else like Zanzibar and Europeans are just everywhere and they just love the
Yeah.
place. And that's what the situation is. So wherever we show up at, we just have, the good thing is we're traveling as a group of people and we put
Right.
ourselves in the best position to enjoy ourselves. And the local people are always saying one thing to all of us is like, where's the rest of your people at? And
Yeah.
I'll be trying to get them here, but they rather just come up and think about all the things that they hear bad about Africa and then they'll tell you that it's nice here and everything. And I was like, I know, and that's why we're always coming back. But hopefully as time go along, we can encourage more people to use their PTO and use the money that they usually just offset to give back to the system to just enjoy a getaway and just enjoy time. Like Akubi, I'm sure people probably think that you're rich or famous because they're always seeing you just traveling with us everywhere.
Right, right. And then the thing's so funny too. 2023, that was my first time there. And practically everybody, restaurants and everything, practically everybody we met then, Bomani will tell you, even the guys, we know the same people. Even at the resort, the same people, the same manager, all the same people. And of course they remember me. And even at the Portigo, the manager, he saw me, the Indian guy. So it's like you're a legend because they don't forget you, and I sure don't forget them.
Oh, you're talking about Sammy and Dar es Salaam.
All of them, yeah, yeah. Zanzibar too, all everywhere, the same people.
Yeah, so that's one of the things is we have learned to just build a connection, but
Yeah,
one
it's a
of the main
reunion.
thing is that people want to see more of us come there. So
Yeah,
people are going to
yes,
be welcome to you and encouraging to you because they know the reality of it. They deal with the people that show up there to deal with them, but they'll like to see people of their own culture connect. But so they're always wondering why the situation is what it is, especially when they see this large numbers of us in a group. And everybody, it's like wherever we show up at is like all eyes on us.
yeah,
Because people are not used to seeing this large groups of black people just go to some of these countries. Like
yes.
Ghana is popular, but when it comes to Zanzibar and it comes to different parts of Egypt, is just not like common like that. Not saying that we don't show up in these countries, but everyone else show up in just higher numbers because
Yeah,
everyone wants to have a bigger view on Africa. Everyone look at Africa as just that place, that continent to go to travel, visit, do business, invest in, and we look at it as some of us look at it as just a place where we just feed into things that other people say, or just look at it as some people tell me that, oh, they sold us as a savior. I don't want to have nothing to do with that place. It just generalizing things. And I think it's bad behavior. But that's why we push the movement of Africa for the Africans and just really just make it to where we can just enjoy the fruits of our labor.
well, Mr. Bomani
Well,
will also, she will,
Yeah.
sorry, he will always also tell you, sorry, that a lot of people were scared because they was listening to the State Department and all these different people. They were saying, don't go, don't go. And Bomani,
Mhm.
just like Mr. Macklin, just like Angela would tell you, they walked in, and who all you saw in the plane when you got on there? Most of them.
Yeah, especially on like KLM flight. And it's the
Yeah.
same thing for other countries.
Hmm.
And you're looking at like, okay, like what my tour operator told me that when I first met him, he was like, this is a place where you're gonna see a lot of white people and they it's kind of like a secret for them. It's like they just want to keep it
Hmm.
for themselves and they
Hmm.
keep it as a place that they only come. But it's a whole African continent and you have different countries, but it's just up to us to be open. But one thing is you always see this the high numbers of everyone else, especially I'm seeing more Asians just all over the
Hmm.
place. It's like and they don't play around. When they show up in busloads. Like before I left, before when we left Arusha, there's about 15 I'm trying to remember myself. I counted about 15 to about 18 safari vehicles. It was a whole
Mhm. Yeah.
Indian family, and
All white.
the hotel was literally sold out. So they're probably looking at us like we're the ones that took the rooms because we booked ahead of time because I know how they
Mhm.
are. It'll be like about 100 of them from India,
Mhm.
and they take over the whole hotel.
Mhm. Mhm.
But the day when we left, they
Well,
probably was happy because they got a chance to get some extra rooms. But
Yes.
I mean, a whole family of
Mhm.
people took these safari vehicles take about 6 people. So when you talk about 18 vehicles, you can just imagine the numbers of their group, and they were everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's it's just trying to encourage more of us
well,
to come to Africa and enjoy it because everyone else is doing it, and everyone else also at the same time too. They're doing business investments, and
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
when we look at ourselves as like, why are we so terrified, or why are we so? And if we're not interested in Africa, it's fine because I have a lot of people here in Georgia, and it's just they show up, they're excited, and then next thing you know, they're telling me that somebody won't let them back in their own
Mhm.
country, or
Mhm.
somebody is going to
well,
stop them from doing something.
FYI, try to bring one suitcase and squeeze room in there for all the stuff you buy and some sunscreen and your bathing suit
Oh,
And a
absolutely.
washcloth.
Yeah,
and a
y'all were at the beach.
washcloth. You
Yeah, they were
got
at
it.
the beach. They were on, y'all
Yeah,
sure was at the beach
yeah.
early in the morning. They were at the beach.
Well, definitely. Since we won't be on the beach, what we'll be on is on a now ship. They'll have a nice pool to where you can just go up there and relax and kick back. Um, and so the weather, Akubi will be a lot better to where we can actually just enjoy it on the top deck. And there's many things that we're going to talk about that you're going to be able to experience. But I like this. I like this flow of this now because you get a little bit more time on the ship when you leave from Luxor to Aswan, and versus the other way around.
Mhm.
So you're coming on the second part of all of the major adjustments that we have made.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jakina.
Hey, greetings, Jakina. Good to see you in the flesh.
Hello.
Hello. So I'm a first time traveler with you guys. I've only been out of the country one time. I've been to Greece. That's it. So this is going to be interesting. This is my gift to myself for my 40th birthday. So we should see how this
Excellent,
goes.
excellent, absolutely excellent.
You're gonna love it.
I hope so.
Journey
We
for
know so.
lifetime.
Yeah, just come with an open mind and just be very social
Oh,
and
oh yeah. I mean, I worked on a military base and I've come across a lot of different people. So I kind of know, how that is. So I think I'm good on that end. I'm a nurse. So I've come across a lot of people.
yeah, overseas is incredible. I love America and it's beautiful, but America I tend to just be here working, working. And then
Yeah.
when I want to get my getaway, I want to be somewhere like on the African continent. As a matter of fact, that's the only
Mhm.
place that we go to. That's how incredible it is.
I was
Amen.
supposed to go to Ghana, but our trip had got canceled because the security. Like this was I can't even remember I can't even remember what it was, but yeah, that was supposed to be my first out of the country trip, and it got canceled. So
Mm.
Yeah, you have to journey with us. We don't cancel
That's
trips.
right.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
and anytime you're ready to go to Ghana, you can journey with us.
Like, shall I
That's right.
remember? We was in Ghana.
And yeah, anytime you're ready to go to Ghana, you can journey with us.
That's right.
yeah,
And meet me,
noted.
and I'll
Yeah,
meet you there.
Okay,
yeah. You will
okay.
enjoy it. You will
They'll tell you,
enjoy
I'll
it.
meet you there.
Yeah, yeah, but Jakina is what people do is like we have people we've been going to Ghana for almost 2 decades. So
Yeah.
uh
And longer.
we have people in the country and there's
Hmm.
nobody that will know more about the country than the people in the country. And the people in the country are not trying to get you to come to an unsafe situation
Right.
and things like that. But some of the people who do the tour preparation and tour operation, because a lot of these trips get canceled because they get so paranoid. And you have to
Hmm.
if
Yeah.
you're gonna lead a group of people, you have to be clear about what you lead them towards. And some of them are just
Even when I told my friend I was going here, she said, "Did you look at the security thing?" That's the first thing she said, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Well, nobody said anything, so I'm not really worried or whatever." She's like, "Okay, I was just checking." I'm like,
oh, she's talking about
Oh,
Egypt or Ghana.
Egypt,
Yeah,
oh.
exactly. Just like
yes.
the same thing for Ghana, and
Hmm.
that's gonna be the situation. So I tell people I've been on the continent, traveling to African continent. This will be 22 straight years and 20 years in business. And I would never, there's so many other parts of the world I can go to, but the best time I've had in my life, once I started going to Africa, it was an addiction that I
Right.
couldn't overcome. I was
That's
like,
right.
at first thing I told my friends when I got back, I was like, I gotta stop letting people lie to you. I was
That's
like,
right.
I was there and then went to another country. I came back. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, this one is even better. And I went to another one. Then I ended up going to Ghana. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, and it's just been something I just keep doing. But I do understand people feel the way they feel. But like YouTube, the media, it's the worst. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
why would someone else want you to invest in your own content? And and it's just like it's the same situation how we're consistently divided. People are not going
Mm-hmm.
to encourage you to connect together and do things together because they and they want Africa for themselves. That's the only thing I can say to you. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
people are shocked when white people are shocked when they see a group of us in
Mm-hmm.
Zanzibar. They're like, how did they find out? They just used to us being people serving them and everything, and they see us, so it's like all eyes on
Mm-hmm.
us. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if any point people stopped looking at us the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it
Mm-hmm.
was in Greece. Like it literally was a handful of black people when we went, and they were like really looking at us because it was 27 of us that went.
Like, why y'all doing here? Where y'all
Yeah,
coming
they
from?
were definitely like,
Where did I get money from? Where did I get
And they
money
copy all
from?
their culture, and they copy all their culture from Africa. Ah, know the history. Hmm.
So yeah, so I appreciate you sharing that because those are popular, common things. Like I had a long list of people that were supposed to go to different countries with me, and
Mhm.
they let their friends convince them, and they let the government of U.S. convince them. I have one from from the Caribbean community, and she telling me that the government is going to take away her citizenship if she travel with us. And it has been weird. So I tell people, I was like, if you want to know the truth about what's going on, you let me know. Me and my family, we're from Jamaica. We have American citizenship and Jamaican citizenship. And if we're not terrified about going somewhere and losing our citizenship, and obviously these are things that scare you. And that's all
Mhm.
it's a scare tactics. And
Mhm.
they figure if they say as much crazy stuff as possible, enough of us are gonna believe it. So I tell
Thank
people,
you.
let's just go with the flow of what's going on. And I'm going with you. You're going with someone
Right.
who's very experienced.
Mhm.
It's gonna make sure you're good. And we're gonna always follow protocol. Like when I was showing at the beginning of the website, when you look at those years, you can think about what 2020, 21, 22 was. It was that era. But you saw us, those are all group photos
Uh-huh.
with us in the country. So you can imagine like they still went. Yeah, we followed protocols. We read everything in the country. We did our research and we just went. We didn't
Mhm.
enjoy taking COVID-19 tests here and there, but we all worked it out. So yeah, but the goal is to keep pushing Africa, and that's why the name
Thank
of our
you, dear.
company, Africa for the Africans. But want to find out if anyone have any questions before I just do a last screen share, and then we just open things up for final questions, and then we close out, and then we can just keep on doing. We do some interaction on the group page, and then we'll have another session where we just talk about our tickets and talk about our finalized accommodations as I work on things between now and the end of January.
Mm.
And let me see, what did I leave out?
Yeah.
So let me
Yeah.
find this thing here. There we go. Set it to schedule. All right, this is an acknowledgement form that I have, and I've been working on it to send to everyone. And it's basically saying that I showed you all the information on the website, and we do have a few other links that we have. Let me fix this thing here better. Where is this thing at? All right, there it goes. This acknowledgement form, it's going to talk about the things that we have on this link, which is saying that you had access to go to the information for the tour itself. And then we have a general term policy and also tour preparation. And both the general terms talk about uh, talk about travel travel insurance. And this still highly recommend everyone to understand it's a required situation. If you don't get travel insurance, that's fine. That's up to you. We can't make anyone get travel insurance. Uh, so I'm going to click on the tour preparation, which some of these things I want to talk about more so when we do the next journey. So what I want everyone to understand is that those links that's on there is for your own information, for you to take your time and go through it, because when we're on a conference call, I don't want to bore anyone by sitting there reading information per verbatim where you have access to. So one of the companies, this is it right here, Alliance, and on the general terms, you'll see the same link, and it say Africa Tour does not offer travel insurance, but it can be purchased from an independent insurers. Alliance Insurance is one of the more popular ones, but you can use any of the insurance policies that's available. And just click on the link and review the information. And also saying that travel insurance is required for this tour, but it's up to you to get a policy. So it's just something encouraging because it could be any trip disruption. It
Mhm.
could be something medical. It could be baggage. It could be other things also. But it's up to individuals. So just letting everyone know that those details are there. And then also we have a cancellation and refund policy. And when we do these journeys, we're not looking for people to cancel and then change their mind, but it does happen, unfortunately. But we do our best to work things out beyond even the
They're
policy itself,
gonna be calling.
because the goal is for us to get you to the continent. Like I tell people, once you call me and you say you want to go to Africa, that's my goal, is to work with you in all situations. And sometimes you have family situations, you have medical situations, and all those things can be worked out.
Yeah, I'm calling.
Our goal is to get you to the
Tell that
continent
answer. They're gonna
one
come
way or
back.
another. So I just appreciate people's commitment. We want to get you to the continent, to enjoy the continent, and come back and tell your family that I made it back. I survived Africa. It was one of my greatest experience ever. You should go also, and you should use some of your resources that you give back to the system to enjoy, your fruits of your labor and enjoy a getaway for yourself. And then
Amen.
And then there's a
Yeah.
bunch of preparation information on here where we'll talk about, next time more so around, but it's all there for you to check out. And then I'll be fixing any things that needs to be adjusted. And then when we do our final conference call, that's when we have everything finalized, to where we just have a final flow. So in between now, I'll be working on a lot of things for us. And the main thing is my goal is to clear all of us for our tickets by the end of this month. And that way, the next 2 months, we can just clear out everything else that we need to clear out. So thank everybody for replying with their details for their tickets so we can have exact information to do their Egypt air booking. And the other thing that I have is on our website. Our website is just not our website, but our YouTube page. It's just a collection of videos, and we just try our best to shoot as many videos as possible and put them in a collection of videos. And I do my best to load up as many of them as possible. So when you're on our YouTube link, which you can access from our website, you scroll down a little bit, and what you see is these playlists. This is just a promo for 2026 with different short videos. But this is our last Tanzania journey. It's 32 videos, but by the time we finish, it'll probably be about 150. And I'll keep on trying to add more. Uh, Ghana is not finished. I still have a whole lot more for Ghana, but we're at 144. They're short videos, but what they do, especially for your family and friends, it just give them highlight of us. And then the group photo that we have on there just shows a group of us on the African continent. And it's just for marketing and for also encouraging. And, and as it go down, you get to where it say Egypt. And then so you click on the Egypt link, and this has 109 videos. So it has all of the sites that we're talking about, uh, and it shows all of our experience. So once you click on it, it opens up and it show you us at the airport, just connecting together, and us throughout the time frame. A lot of what it shows is the historical sites while we're just out there and doing tours, because it's based on education, and then people know that you're coming for a getaway, but we're gonna visit museums and historical places. We're gonna have great dining, but it's also to just make it educational as best as possible, because that way, we're just not going anywhere and just enjoying this Miami partying and everything. We're trying to also just encourage us as a people to learn more about our history and roots, and learn more about Africa. So that's one thing right there, the videos. And also this is the photo gallery, and it's a Google Photo Share. I've posted it a few times, but some people may not have gotten the link. So I'll make sure that I copy it and post it on our group page, so you can always look back at any of the videos or photos. And this is based on individuals that are open to it. And this is me and our family right here. Yeah. my mother, my son, my father right here, and us meeting some of the people from our Egypt group. And so we,
Bomani,
go ahead.
are you showing us something other than a document?
All right. Thank you for telling me that. Let me stop and
Uh-huh.
go to sharing. This thing is, here we go. All right, so let me click back on the YouTube. That way, if you didn't see it, this is the YouTube page, and you have an Egypt gallery. So hopefully, yes, and click here. So hopefully you can see the gallery. And this is 109 videos. Once you're on the YouTube page, you'll see all of the tour group page. And when you click on it, you just be able to navigate through the different videos and it just kind of show you this a highlight of the different parts of the country and the different things that we do. And the last thing I was trying to show, and these are things I'll post on the group page for those who haven't seen it, especially for those who came in the last month or two that may not have seen the previous documentation. And this is a Google photo share. Usually, whenever we do a journey, we just put together some of our best photos from the airport to us moving around. And I'm saying this right here is my mother, myself, my son, and my father right here. Us all in New York to meet our Egypt group. And as you scroll down, you'll start seeing sites and um, and all the different places that we travel to. Nubian Museum. Akubi, that's you right here, right? And your Nubian family.
Oh, you know it.
So, and us at the Nubian village. So,
Yeah, I'm part of the family.
so this is the part of the schedule I mentioned that it's flipped in the other way around to where this will be the end to where it gives us more time. And
Mhm.
the school
And
that
Wally,
we'll visit.
they'll meet Brother Wally and his brother, the headmaster. Yeah, family. The school.
And then you're out here shopping and it's just all kind of things to buy.
Oh, yes. Everybody will be bothering them. Oh, yes. They
And
could
these
get
are
their kennel.
and these are the cool boats that we'll get on to leave from the main part of Aswan to the Nubian village.
Mhm.
And then
Horseback riding.
you can enjoy your horse and carriage.
Mhm.
Yeah, so these are just documentation to share. So you can take your time and look through it and
Mhm.
just and then just get your energy up to this, be excited and ready to go. But everything I'm showing you is the same thing that you're gonna see. It's the same thing except it's just adjusted. The flow is adjusted. And then what happened towards the end is that you end up going to the pyramids towards the end. So complete reversal. And this part was just awkward, us showing up at a temple like late at night.
Yes.
So that's why I ended up just changing the cruise ship flow because now you get to see these temples. I mean, they're incredible enough to where you want to see them when it's just bright outside.
Mhm. Get Miss Nelson.
And then this is the acknowledgement form that I would have the link for the travel insurance and I have the link for just general details. So while I'm going through these things, these are the things that these things will be an acknowledgement form where I'll.
Tanzania was Nelson's first country. Her daughter took her there. And then Ghana was her second. And she didn't go to Egypt. That's how she came.
Kubi, let me just finish up this. That way we don't have to hold everyone much longer. This acknowledgement form would talk about the things that I've gone over, and we just need a reply from everyone that everything is clear. That way that everyone understand this is the information that we have gone over, and then be clear on it. And you'll see some important information that you may just want to be clear about, especially on travel insurance, medical emergency, interruption, travel delays, baggage issue. So it goes into a few things, but uh, a lot of
Bomani,
times, go ahead.
this is Doreen. Do we need to print that off, sign it, and email it back to you, or
No, it's just a reply because a few people
oh,
told me that I didn't go over these information and I wasn't clear in a bunch of things, and I just brought a lot of stress to me. So it's just something I
okay,
have to do now to say that I took my time and went over the
got it.
information and things like that. But
All
yeah,
right.
nobody have to sign anything. We know we're all grown now, but that's not fair to me if people tell me those things or the information is not on the site. Uh,
Okay,
but
thank
but
you.
if somebody didn't read the information, at least this form will kind of give them a link to where they can look at it because I never know who reads any of the information. And I
Okay.
can't I can't be that person to go around and only thing I call you when I talk to you, did you look through the information? Most people are gonna say yes. How much of it, I don't know. But and if you don't, that's fine. Just travel with us and go with the flow. So, so those are those things that I'm just working on as of this year to just be more transparent and clear, and then spend more time with us having private conference call. That way we could do multiple calls, similar to what we did for Tanzania, and just make myself available as best as possible, and then post and share more things on a group page, and just you know, and do a little bit more because it's not enough when you have the information on a website and you send someone an email and tell them to review the details and check it out. And it may be a lot of information to some people, and some people may need it decipher. So when we go to the itinerary like we did earlier, then you can have questions and then be clear on it. And then we go to more of the information and more of the information. That's, and then the Egypt visa, as I mentioned, we can just keep it as simple as bring up, we're gonna have our passport and we're gonna have our ticket, and then the reservations will be sent to where you can just print it out. That way, when you're traveling on a tour, you just have it to give to them, and then that's all you're gonna need for visa on arrival. And then a lot of these things that I talk about with you right now, I have a meeting to talk with our tour operator because I told him I wanted him to just help me make some logistic uh, adjustment, and I want to talk with him about some of the things that we want to make sure that it's clear that we have worked out a little more organized than the last group that accommodated us had worked out. That way, you have a more just organized experience, and that's the best we can do is just try to make it better and better by just holding people accountable to doing certain things that we want. Because one of the things I'm always telling everyone is that we are who we are as Black/African people, and we're not anyone else. And try not to just link us with everyone else because we are a unique group of people, and we have our unique experience. And you're used to and custom to the people that accommodate us in every country outside of like West Africa, they're used to dealing with people from all other nations and race of people, and which is absolutely fine. But it's like you can't just coin us into one pot of people, and that's kind of one of the things that I try to just build more connection and communication with them on. And this is our famous newsletter. If any last minute people want to join us, I can squeeze them in. We'd have to just make sure I get them some reservations at the Holiday Inn immediately. That way they don't sell out. But outside of that, if any people want to come in at the last minute that we can probably accommodate them up until the end of the month. But after the end of the month, it's we just got to start closing out because then we have to just finalize the exact bus size that we need for all of the movements. The tour operators don't mind adjusting to a bigger bus here and there, but after a while we just have to like say, hey, this is the finalized number, and I want you to focus on these numbers. And then the cruise ship is another thing too. They don't hold, some of them hold anywhere from 50 to 80 people. So those have to be thought about also. But family, let me stop screen sharing. And for those who need to move forward, you can definitely move forward. Uh, and that's why I wanted to make sure that we do an Egypt only conference call because me talking about the other countries with time, and even though we had conversation based on our experience for other countries. And anyone who I have not heard from that want to say something, Kenner, do you want to say anything or you wanna share any information or do you have any questions?
No, hey, Bomani, how's it going?
Greetings,
No,
man. Good to hear
yeah,
from you in the flesh, man. Good to hear from you. I was hoping to see you, man, because you mentioned that I showed up to your cafe one day many years ago. I don't know if it was like 10 years ago in
no,
Atlanta.
not that long.
And then you saw the information. I guess I kept you on the email list or something.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I've always kept going back to Africa close to my heart, and I'm really excited to be going to the journey this year to Egypt especially. So yeah, I was just wondering about internet access. Is it pretty consistent throughout the trip, or should we try to get our own hotspot or whatever?
Definitely bring you definitely get one of the international plans, or get, like if you have T-Mobile, it's part of some people package. But when you get to the different hotels, these are hotels that are set up for international operation to where you have access to internet. The ship, when you're cruising down the Nile, you may be limited based on signal, but in most cases, you can still use the network. So you'll be able to have consistent network throughout the whole time frame if you need to call someone and then we're all on WhatsApp. So it's once you have a network connection, you can just communicate with anyone via text or call them on WhatsApp.
All right, great. Sounds good. Hey, I'm looking forward to it, and I'll have more questions in the next few calls we have in the next few months.
All right, perfect. Yes, so I'll be working on another one for us in February and then in March. And then we just go over more information and get everybody prepared.
I'm good.
All right, so before I close, anyone have anything else to share or any last minute questions? All right, well, perfect, family. Appreciate everybody joining us. So everyone have a great night. Thank you for this being available to where we can just have a good amount of time going through this call. It was close to 2 hours, but was able to just really just connect and build a nice interaction. And it's 17 of us right now, so it's a nice solid group of us. Very excited and always looking forward to just getting away and just enjoying our time in Africa.
All right. Bye, Uncle Charlie.
All right, bye bye. You take care. Hopefully see you in a few.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night. Take care, everyone.
Good night.
Go to bed.
Yeah, I have a lot of things to do because tomorrow is garbage day, so I have to separate my recycle and everything right now. So that's what I'm going to do now. And it's
That's
cold.
right.
And it's
Yeah.
cold.
Yes, 40 degrees in Georgia, so I can imagine
Yeah,
in
we
New
have.
York City.
You have 14 in Georgia?
Yes, and it's only gonna get late. Only gonna get colder at night.
So you're colder than us then because I have 40. I am 45. No, it might drop down to about 42 now.
Yeah.
Georgia
Only.
playing. You know that. They playing. They don't know what cold weather is. They're playing.
Oh boy.
The family, the journey continues.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, talk to you
Bye.
later. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.